guys, Sincerely Ikea back here again, tapping in for another episode of Sew With Me. This will be episode 2. For this episode, I decided to sew my birthday dress. I turned 24 January 15th. Whoop whoop. And my boyfriend took me to Jamaica, and I just wanted to be extra because last year my birthday was rough for me. Like, that time of the month came and I was super emotional. My boyfriend took me out to dinner. I didn't even want to eat. I was annoyed, sad, emotions just flowing. I ordered my food, it came, packed it to go. Went and got a whole wig installed. Didn't like it. Did my makeup. Didn't like it. Didn't like my outfit. I cried all day, my whole birthday. It was like a horrible birthday. Like I think it was more so my cycle, but then also reality though, because I don't have many friends. So I just felt like, wow, I don't get much love, and then not even on my birthday. Like my birthday, like nobody has really did anything really to go out their way for me for my birthday. Not to say that they owe me that, but like, damn, I would like it sometimes, just to feel loved. But scratch the sad stuff. This birthday was lit because we went to Jamaica, like I said, and I made my birthday dress. Made by me. So for this dress, I decided to do a silver, like blinged out applique in the front, and it was short. I told y'all in the last video, shorter the better. Legs, speaking of legs, I love a little bit of leg action. The front is like a silk gray color, and then the back is half the silk gray color and half gray suede, and it has a U-cut in the back to show some back action, show a little skin, get a little spiffy, and it has a zipper in the middle of the back. And here's my sketch. And let's get into the video. Without further ado, let's see how this turns out. I forgot to say 2 things before we get into the episode. Looking back now at my pictures from last year, I was tripping. I was cute. I was that girl. I was giving. Like obviously, I'm cute. I'm above cute. Back to the dress for this year. I had added some like diamond drape. I don't even know how to word it, what they call it. I got them off Amazon. It's like, it looks like raindrops, like kind of like the idea of raindrops like hanging from the front of the dress. I just put that on the front at the top. You barely can see it in the pictures because it just camouflages in with the rest of the dress. But yeah, I added that at the top of the dress. Testing 1 2 1 2. It's Sincerely Ikea on a beat. Y'all, this is my first time using voice memo, but now that we have the mic check out the way, let's get into this video. Right here, I'm showing you the first step in making my birthday dress. I'm cutting out the silver rhinestone applique, going back and forth between my silver fabric scissors and the mini red scissors. I also tried to use the wood burner that I used in the last video for the Sew With Me, but I didn't like how it was burning the rhinestones. It was turning it black, so I decided just to go back and forth between the 2 scissors. The bigger scissors were just allowing me to go a little bit faster with the parts that I didn't really need to take my time with, and the little scissors were helping me get closer to the rhinestones to get most of the mesh off of the applique as possible. Somebody comment down below, is it just me that finds it satisfying to cut fabric with fabric scissors? Especially these, like, they're so sharp. Just the feeling of the fabric cutting in my hand is just like satisfying. I don't know. Am I weird? It's probably just a designer thing. I don't know, but it's satisfying.
Persian rose, but she's from Nicaragua. Thought you was Persian love. Are we turning up or are we wasting time? Girl, don't waste my time, no party.
At this point, I realized that I needed to slow down and take my time a little more because I cut a piece of the thread that was holding the applique together and a rhinestone fell off. And when one falls off, more can fall off, and then you can mess up the whole applique. So now I'm just going back in with those little scissors and taking my time.
Fuck, I look like I don't wanna chill. I'm kissing you, I want you to feel it. Feel it, baby, can you feel me, baby? Can you feel me, baby, can you feel me, baby? Ooh. Fuck, I look like I don't wanna chill. I'm kissing you, I want you to feel it. Feel it, baby, can you feel me, baby? Can you feel me, baby?
For the measurements, I took my upper bust, that's just the top part right here above your breast, closest to under your shoulder, and mine is 31 inches. Then next I took the bust, not the upper bust, the bust, the widest part of your breast, and that came in at 31.5 inches. Show you this part. You will take it all the way around. And I know I got a hat on. I got my what's the name called? Queen Latifah braids up under here from Set It Off. I took my waist measurement. That's 26 inches. You gotta make sure it's even too. And then I took my hip, which is the widest part of your hip, or the widest part that your butt is, basically. So where the measuring tape will lay from the widest point of your butt. That's 38. The next measurement I took was the top of the shoulder to the bottom of where I would like the dress to stop. So for this applique, it stops at 32.5 inches. I'll just say 33. And then I'm gonna add an inch or inch and a half of seam allowance around everything. After taking my measurements, I laid my bodice pattern onto the bad side of my fabric, folded in half, and pinned it down. I could have ironed the pattern to make it flatter, but that's okay. That's not anything major as long as it's not super wrinkled. And then I transferred all of my measurements onto the material.
Make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think you're playing with. I'm gonna tell myself to keep playing this record back over and over again. Swear that you changed, but I noticed the end. I want you on scene. Think you know your girl's so funny to me. That's why you think I left by one or two times. Got tired of your shit, you almost lost your mind. I'm long stay, call your name. You'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold rain. And I don't think you'll ever change your ways. Cause our house is not a home where no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on since no one's here? What you got is good, that's why you refuse to let me walk out to life. You refuse to match up with my vibe. You keep wasting my time, you keep wasting my time. I want you on scene. Think you know your girl's so funny to me. That's why you think I left by one or two times. Got tired of your shit, you almost lost your mind. Long stay, call your name. You'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold rain. And I don't away. 'Cause our house is not a home where no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on since no one's here? Hey, you know what you got is good, that's why.
Because I was using a bodice pattern for this dress rather than a full dress pattern or a skirt pattern, I didn't really have that bottom piece to get the shape of the dress. So I was contemplating between using an old dress as a skirt pattern for the bottom or using a ruler to get the shape of the bottom of the dress. At the end, I just decided to freehand it. Everything is trial and error. Now that all of the measurements are on the fabric, we have the front part of the dress cut out. Once I had my measurements transferred to my material, I cut out the front part of the dress, which is silk. I decided to make the back half silk and half suede. Once the front of the dress was cut out, placed that to the side, and I laid down my silk and suede material with both of the good sides facing each other, right on top of each other. And then I folded in half the front part of the dress and laid it on top of those two materials and used a rotary cutter to cut out the back. I also pinned down the front part of that dress to those two materials to make sure the fabric didn't move while I was cutting. That just makes it easier for me. Now that the back and front of my dress is cut out, I still have my bodice pattern pinned to the back of the dress. That pattern is actually custom to my measurements, but can be used and altered for different measurements. That's besides the point though. So at this point, what I did was take a pin and just drew a couple of notches down the side of the dress to remind myself where my measurements are away from the seam allowance. Right here I used a Drit Styling Design ruler. It was very helpful for this part. It's shaped in a J, so all I did was laid it on top of the fabric that was still folded in half, as you see, and then used a pen to draw on the outside of the ruler to draw a J. Once that was done, I cut that part out, and once I unfolded the fabric, it made a U-cut, giving some back action. Real cute, real classy. Yeah. Right here, I left the front cutout of my dress folded in half and laid half of the bodice applique on top of that fabric, pinned it down so it wouldn't move around too much, and took a pin and traced around the inside of the breast at the top to get a cutout on the fabric. Once I had that cut out, I cut out a piece of mesh that was my skin tone, and then I sewed that into the top part of the dress, which I didn't record.
I want all night. I want all night. Say it. I want all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. And usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for ya. Let me lay a great time on ya. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will come through it.
Okay, so I'm not in the original lab anymore at this point. I was in a rush, so we had to relocate. Sorry for the change of scenery, but back to the dress. I didn't record the part where I sewed the front and the front and the back part together because I was rushing, like I mentioned. So right here, I already have the front and the back sewed together. I have my zipper in. I ended up taking the zipper part out of the dress and redoing it because I needed to take in the back a little bit because it was droopy on the right hand side where the silk was at, and I didn't like that. It wasn't sitting right. It wasn't sitting right on my heart. So I had to redo that, and then I had folded in the arms and pinned that down to create the armholes and sew it together to clean up the edges. And then after that, I hemmed the bottom and then sewed on the applique and the individual rain crystals. I don't know the exact terminology for it, but that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it rain crystals. My energy just totally changed at the end of this video. I had sugar grits.
You will come through and chill. Just like you will.
And without further ado, that is how this sketch turned into this. Get into it. Shimmer, shine, glitz, glamour. Yeah, that's what we love to see. Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, upscale. After watching this video, make sure you like the video, comment on the video, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, hit the subscribe button and share the video with everyone you know, and then head over to Instagram and follow my business page at Upscale Women's Club. Until next time.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone. Yeah.